Well, I didn't think you had it in you.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Why, Johnny Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave.
One of the greatest lines ever on cinema. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, everyone, all friends. Welcome to another episode of the Top 10 Best Performances by an Actor. Joining me is one of my very great friends, one of the greatest actors that I know, one of the greatest artists that has ever crossed this planet. Please welcome back Stepan Petway.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Happy to be back.
Always, man. Oh my goodness. Yes, we are starting from 10 and then working our way up to number 1. And keep in mind, at least for myself, I have seen every single film attainable by every artist that I cover here. And so every list that we give is always authentic in accuracy. And man, dude, we have covered a good amount of artists on here, which is quite amazing. And I always love having you, here to talk about this because it fuels me as an actor, and it fuels the educational process, just knowing all of our great and favorite actors in cinema, what they've gone through, what they've encountered, what they've grown through, and what imprint they left on society, what they left in just the celluloid itself. And today we are going to be talking about Val Kilmer. Rest in peace. My goodness, just passed away back in April 1st. Can you believe it's only been a handful of months?
Dude, it was heartbreaking when I got that news because it's like Val Kilmer, Roger Ebert said that I think they described him as the most unsung leading man of his generation, and all of his movies have grossed about $3.85 billion. Like that man truly is an unsung hero and a leading man. We know him from certain films and whatnot, but I love what we'll be tackling today is maybe the movies that people don't know him from as much, or the movies that they do know him from, but what the process was in making those films and him finding those characters and just always delivering and giving us rich performances and just every part of his being, man. Even up to the day that he died, you could see it. Like he was still Val Kilmer, still mischievous, still playful, still poetic, man. So yeah, this is going to be exciting to talk about today, but also, like I said, a little emotional because we're connected to Val Kilmer, bro.
Yeah.
You know. We'll talk about it later, but we're very much connected to him.
We are.
And I got a little tiny anecdote, but I met Val Kilmer.
I don't think you've ever told me this story, have you?
I've had to tell you this story. Oh, man. Okay. So I'll set the scene.
Oh, my God.
I think this was maybe a year or two after UNLV.
Okay.
I just moved back to New York, and I was in the city about to go to Yoga for the People, located in the East Village.
Wow. Okay.
And as I'm walking with my yoga mat, I think it's like a Sunday and it's hot. See this guy with long hair, and he's kind of got this like, it's like a greenish or a mustard like shirt, and it's kind of like, taco meat is hanging out. He had shorts and he had these 2 mismatched socks and like these brown shoes, and he's with his kids. And I was like, "Are you Val Kilmer?" He was like, "Hey, what's up, man? How you doing?" I was like, "Dude, I am a big fan of your work. Huge." It's like, "Thanks, man. What's your name?" I was like, "I'm Stefan." It's like, "Stefan, it's good to meet you." I was like, "Do you guys do yoga or anything?" He's like, "Yeah, we love yoga." It's like, "Well, I'm going to Yoga for the People." That's why I got the yoga mat in my hand. It's like, "That's cool. Hey, you guys want to go do some yoga sometime?" His kids at the time, I think, were probably like just about becoming teenagers, but like just the energy that he exchanged, he was so welcoming.
Oh, great.
And I was like, Val Kilmer might do yoga with me. Of course he didn't. But the fact that he just engaged with me and he was so just mellow with it, man. And I was just like,
such a movie star.
Yeah.
The epitome of a movie star, yet with true, authentic, and amazing abilities and characteristics.
Yes.
Like for me, I've never really, I don't think I've ever found an actor in modern retrospective that really
Mhm.
comes close to the essence and power of that of like James Dean and Montgomery Clift and
Yeah.
Brando, practically.
Yeah. So damn alluring, so charming, so unafraid and yet unbashful. Somebody that, if you look at him, especially because over the years, he documented himself for years. He has
Mhm.
footage of everything.
Yep.
But the fact that, man, this guy is not afraid of the camera.
Yeah.
If anything, he leans into it more and wants you, which makes you want to say, like, wait, he has no fear. I like that. He has heart. I like that. So I wonder what he's going to say, what he's going to do. I wish I could have gotten a chance to see his Hamlet.
Oh
I
my.
would have given anything to have seen that guy do
uh,
Hamlet. Oh, he would have broken my heart with that. And I
Oh,
know he would have pissed off people too, because Val never played by the rules as an actor. But I think he was also like a methodology, because he would take all the different methods from the classical training to the method acting training to just all the experiences, and he put it in a gumbo, and he always just threw it into any project that he would do.
exactly.
So no, this is going to be such a exploration for young actors and actors today to remember, like, it ain't always about getting the job. Sometimes it really is just about doing the work, the real work, embodying the work, holding up that mirror to society and just saying, look at yourselves. I'm a reflection of you. You're a reflection of me. We're going to get ugly. We're going to get dark. We're going to explore some things, but we're going to smile about it too. And we're going to have some fun, and we're going to laugh, and we're going to make something.
And this has been one of the most difficult top tens. Every top 10 is usually very difficult, but this one in particular, and I am just so dead curious and just so excited to see where yours is going to be, where mine is going to be. I really
It's gonna
don't
be
know.
weird, buddy. I already know, like, we're gonna get mixed with this one, but
I think
in a
so.
good way.
Yes.
It's gonna be respectful, but it's like, oh, because what's gonna be so hard is, like we said, Val just has so many. Oh, he has an array of performances, but then sometimes it's like the movie outshines the performance, and
Mhm.
then sometimes the performance outshines the film. And it's rare that he kind of has that movie that it's a delicate balance.
Right.
Say when.
Here we go. We are going to be talking about the top 10 best performances by our favorite wingman, our Huckleberry himself, Val Kilmer.
Number 10. Ooh, I'm
Huh.
gonna go with The Island of Dr. Moreau.
Wow. Oh,
I,
good.
it,
Oh, you'll like it. I like it. It's a little Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, wait.
Ow!
Wait. Are you a doctor? Are you a doctor?
Well, I'm more like a vet.
I rewatched the film the other day just because I just really wanted to understand why. Overall, Alex, number one, you can never go wrong with Marlon Brando.
Of course.
Even when Brando is at his worst, he's always going to give you something to think about.
I understand that I must be shocking to you.
Val plays the iconic character Montgomery. He is the assistant to Dr. Moreau. And, the film just jumps in. That's one thing I always say. The film jumps in and it starts with disaster,
Yes.
the animalistic nature within us, and as we fight for survival.
Yes.
And then this man is rescued by someone who comes off as a friend in the beginning and is helpful, but there's this mystery about him. You don't know. I don't know if it's in the musical score of the film, but there is something a little off about Montgomery. But you want to trust him though. And then all hell just breaks loose as the film keeps going, every scene.
Yes. Both
And
narratively and behind the scenes.
yeah,
I make it work.
Not without this, you don't.
that film, it was an opportunity of his life because he got to work with his idol, Marlon Brando. They lost the director while they were in the process of shooting it. So they bought a new director, but then that director was ultimately just trying to shoot it and get it done.
Yep.
Val Kilmer was also not able to explore certain things the way he wanted to. None of the actors, I think a lot of them didn't even know what the script was, or what it was trying to be, what it was trying to say.
Nope, because it would
And
change
then
all the time.
also Val got served with divorce papers while shooting that film. So it's almost like the thing that should be your dream became a disaster every day. And then he was documenting it as he was doing it. And then when you watch the film and the final product, it's like, it does feel rushed.
Yes.
It does feel like it was cut together. Like when you watch it, it feels like a rough cut of a movie.
It's a mismatch of all sorts.
Very, very mismatch of everything. He dons the look and appearance of Marlon Brando, whom hated being in that movie, and I think ultimately made the choice that he made because actually it was like, F you, fire me. And then and then he ultimately goes into this dark lair and he's ultimately passing out drugs while the animals are having orgies and he's smoking and just like, this ain't right. Nope.
My friend, have you seen one of the most brilliant documentaries I think I've ever seen, Lost Souls, The Doomed Journey of Richard Stanley's Island of Dr. Moreau?
No, but I would like to watch that.
You need to watch that documentary like stat. Val Kilmer was actually going to play the original role of the castaway. That
would have been perfect.
Right? It would have been amazing, but
that's ideal, actually.
So he was originally going to play that role, but then Val, last minute, was just like, no, I find this role of Montgomery more interesting.
I wrote the film as Planet of the Apes meets Get Out with a little bit of Westworld.
That's a very accurate depiction. That's great.
Mike Myers watched this movie. I know he did. I knew he did.
Yep. Same with Trey Parker and Matt Stone in South Park. Remember the doctor? With the... That's exactly it.
It's like, how do you go from being an assistant to practically becoming a jailer? You know, like, and the resentment, like, that's, I will give Val credit. That's what he played well. He played a man that was a hopeful in the beginning, and then he just became aloof. He became jaded, almost like a prisoner himself.
Thou hypocrite, first cast out the fiend that is in thine own eye, and then thou shalt see clearly to cast out the mote of thy brother's eye. Do the cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet. And then give not that which is holy unto the dog.
What about you? What's your number 10?
One of my favorite comedies of all time, Top Secret.
Look, I'm not the first guy who fell in love with a girl he met in a restaurant who then turned out to be the daughter of a kidnapped scientist, only to lose her to a childhood lover who she'd last seen on a deserted island and who turned out 15 years later to be the leader of the French underground.
I know it. It all sounds like some bad movie.
Oh my goodness, it shames me just because it's Val's amazing film debut, giving us the best unofficial Elvis impersonation with some of the greatest songs with
Shop at Macy's and love me tonight.
all of his movements are just so Elvis. Like, he studied Elvis from top to bottom. That was the greatest thing about Val, is how when he studies, he goes all in. It's ridiculous in the best Zucker Brothers way, where the Zucker Brothers, who co-wrote and
Airplane, Naked
Gun, all of those great classics.
That charisma, that, like you said, that bravado, that just, the moment they get into it, you cannot take your eyes off them for a second. I was like, no, that's not a bad introduction to Hollywood. And he was doing it in England at the time where he met his wife.
But now, what is your number 9?
So we already briefly talked about it. My number 9 was Top Secret.
Oh, but this is perfect.
Oh, I'm sorry. I really don't know any German.
That's all right. I know a little German. He's sitting over there.
It was also the definition of what an 80s movie's supposed to be.
That's for sure. This was a movie made during the Reagan era, for sure.
Yeah, I just saw that film. I was like, man, A Star is Born.
Well, this is kind of funny because now my number 9, this might be, again, very shocking, but it's another Top Gun.
You guys really are cowboys.
What's your problem, Kazansky?
You're everyone's problem. That's because every time you go up in the air, you're unsafe. I don't like you because you're dangerous.
That's right. Nice, man. I am dangerous.
I know.
Shut your mouth.
I know.
Shut your mouth, sir.
I know.
I cannot believe this. This is the first time you really shocked me.
Really? No kidding.
On this level of how we pick things. Ooh, okay, you got to bring it with this one. Come on.
Okay. One of the greatest, honestly, one of the greatest like summer blockbusters ever made. There's no question whatsoever about its greatness. How Val, who plays Lieutenant Tom Kazansky, aka Iceman. Oof. It's amazing how when he read the script, he absolutely did not want to do it. Found it completely silly, all the warmongering, just the vibe of it was just like, yeah, gung-ho. However, at the heart of it, you see the beauty of friendship, like true friendship, camaraderie. You can imagine how much damn fun they had on that set. Man.
Yes.
A film of this magnitude, it's not frickin' David Mamet. It's not frickin' Shakespeare, right? No. This is a film where you can ad-lib the hell out of it, because it's all about the relationship. It's all about the chemistry. It's all about how you interact with each other, which gives amazing leeway to Val ad-lib the hell out of everything. Like the great scene when they're in class and Tom Cruise is talking about his big accomplishment, his big ad-lib in that whole scene.
Because I was inverted.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. I think what Val Kilmer was trying to say is, I don't want Iceman to just be, like you said, that militant, bro, hoorah, Navy pilot, everything. There's something about Iceman that Maverick needs. Mm-hmm. If you even watch the film, you don't hate Iceman.
Ooh, never, you love him.
There's never a moment where even when he's kind of being a bit of a bully, he's not even really bullying. No, just watching him in that locker room and they're going at it, he just looks at it, it's somebody that was letting the character speak.
You have a great ensemble cast, including Tim Robbins, Anthony Edwards, and our dear Sundown, Clarence Gilliard.
See, that's the, and that's the connection that's how I know that you and I'm glad that we did this, because we're incredibly linked to Val Kilmer, not just through, my interaction with them for that moment, but the fact that when Clarence Gilliard's career was slowly just starting off too, like every actor in that movie, his career was just starting off. Right. And look at Clarence. He was kind of in the background most of the movie, and then by the end of the film, he becomes Tom Cruise's partner.
Wingman.
His wingman, bro. Mm-hmm. And, he didn't have much, but he helped to save the day.
Exactly.
That was our mentor. That was the guy that showed us love. That was the guy that sat in our classes and gave us tools. And he never talked much about the Top Gun experience. He would talk about Die Hard.
Die Hard, that's for sure.
He definitely talked about that one. And I think Die Hard, he was having a lot of fun in that set too. And can I shout out Val Kilmer and also say he treated Tom like an equal. And I think that's another reason why Val shines so bright in that film. Because there's that, let me give this actor the grace. Let me give this actor the space to be this. I've been one of those actors. Val, man, that craftsmanship in Iceman. He built Iceman from the ground up, and it worked so much better because he just infused his techniques in his training.
That's what makes his appearance in Top Gun Maverick so heartwarming
and iconic.
You are still dangerous. You can be my wingman anytime.
Bullshit. You can be mine.
Let's talk about your number 8.
My number 8 is Alexander the Great.
No way.
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay.
I told you this is gonna be a hard one for you and I, because I was like, I know we got a lot of the same movies, but it's where they are.
Yeah, I know.
Val plays King Philip II, the father of Alexander, played by the great Colin Farrell. I mean, it was the epic story of they have like 3 cuts of this movie.
Have you seen the direct? Yeah, the.
I've seen the 3-hour one. I think that was the one I actually watched.
Right.
To prepare for this one, and ooh,
yeah. They've got a whole lot of stuff happening.
Val played the epic scale of the film so well, and I feel like he leaped off the screen when he did it. The second scene, which I feel is the culmination of his character, he takes his son through the caves and shows him all the kings that lived before him. The kings and the gods and the stories and what you hear. Val broke my heart so much in that scene, man, because I felt the heaviness and the weight and the loss and the grievances that character was suffering and battling with internally.
A king isn't born, Alexander. He's made by steel and by suffering. Fate is cruel. No man or woman could be too powerful or too beautiful without disaster befalling. They laugh when you rise too high and crush everything you built with a whim. But the glory they give in the end, they take away. They make of us slaves.
Val lost his brother.
Wesley, yeah.
At the age of 13 due to epilepsy. So I know that was always weighing on Val. I think a lot of the films that Val has done, especially when they deal with religion and faith and whatnot, I know Val ties it right back into that moment because I know how close he was to his brother Wesley and how close he was to his other brothers. But the fact that Wesley and he were making films and being as creative as they were together, and I think Wesley would have become a great filmmaker.
Oh yeah, very much so.
I know Val was channeling so much of his Juilliard and classical theater training and the poetry that he learned to infuse it with this character.
Val received a Razzie Award nomination for Worst Supporting Actor for that film, which is, the Razzie Awards, they get some things really wrong a lot.
Wrong. And that was wrong. Val, his over-the-topness, the ridiculousness, everything about that performance, if you just study it, it is the true definition of grief.
So at number 8, his amazing yet disheartening role as Bruce Wayne and Batman.
Oh, you bastard.
Batman Forever. I know.
You're trying to get under my cape, Doctor?
A girl can't live by psychoses alone.
It's the car, right? Chicks love the car.
First and foremost, I love the fact that he discovered he got the role when he was exploring in a literal bat cave in Africa. Yes, we hear all the horror stories about portraying Batman in general, from every actor who has portrayed Batman. Very disheartening when you find out an actor gets to play a childhood dream role and is so crestfallen and disenchanted to be used as a prop. Basically. The thing about Val's performance as both Bruce Wayne and Batman, there's a beautiful amount of layers to his performance. When you look at his performance, and especially in the deleted scenes, which is such a shame, Warner Brothers released the director's cut for crying out loud.
Thank you.
God. LA was going to do a theatrical release of Schumacher's director's cut, but then Warner Brothers pulled the plug and saying nope.
To honor somebody like Val Kilmer and his beautiful family, that would just be something amazing. And it gives the fans something.
This year, celebrating its 30th anniversary.
The film is ridiculous, but it's beautiful. Al, you might hate me on this one, but I'm just going to put it out here. I do think where Val might have missed the landing on this one, this is just me. In the world of Batman and Bruce Wayne, what Val missed in that time, though you might have felt like you were acting terribly or poorly because you were just being told to stand and do whatever, Bruce Wayne is isolated and stuck behind a mask of something that he can't seem to overcome. And you got to lean into that.
Right.
I think Val, being as grounded as he is in of the world that he's in often, I think he missed an opportunity with that one to find a deeper meaning with the character, to find a deeper, even reality with Bruce Wayne.
Oh, sure. I think it really...
I could be wrong, though.
No, totally valid. I really think it was just the disheartening, shock and reality that he felt with just doing it, I think because he held that role so high within his heart that when he was on set and just trying to get adjusted to the suit and just trying to get adjusted to this world that Joel Schumacher, may he rest in peace as well, that he was creating around him. And when you're in scenes with Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey, when they are just like
cooking, they're cooking. They were cooking.
They were cooking completely over the top. You then cut back to Val when you're just like, what are we doing? You know, like, like.
But you know what it is? That was Val being the straight man in a movie.
Indeed. Which sometimes always comes with every single Batman movie, right?
Yes.
It's amazing how even co-creator Bob Kane of Batman and director Joel Schumacher, as many issues and clashing that they had on set, they both said that Val's performance as Batman was the best Batman on screen.
I'm Batman, Alfred. I'm Batman.
Number 7, this is going to get me canceled by the culture. I can feel it now, but I'm putting it out here.
What?
The Prince of Egypt.
Ramesses, let my people go!
I recognize the controversy with this particular film and people of color, white actors voicing them, et cetera, et cetera. I completely understand, and there's a part of me that truly agrees. But I also look at it both ways. I look at it both from an artistic perspective and from a business perspective. As a cartoon film, it was digestible. It's powerful within itself. And to have Val Kilmer play whom he played, you know what I'm saying, Moses' brother, you know, leading his people out of slavery into freedom, and watching the depiction and how his people were beaten and slaughtered. Even Val Kilmer having such a beautiful speaking voice to even play the voice of God himself.
Exactly.
It spoke to me now more than ever in its relevance. And though Val Kilmer doesn't steal the movie by any means, he is a voice that lifts the script up to rejoice.
You saw what happened. I just killed a man.
To me, it's very reminiscent of theater, which I spent a lot of time studying, and rhythms of speech and the importance of each phrase and the kind of work that I've rarely had a chance to do as an actor in film.
And I can no longer hide in the desert while they suffer.
We can redo that film, and we can definitely cast more actors of color to do the voiceover work for it. But I also think this is what's sad about our industry is that back in the day, how do you hear color? And I'm not trying to be a jerk about that. I'm really asking questions all the time. It's like, yes, oh, that's a black voice. What is a black voice?
What is a black voice? What is that?
What is a white voice? Yes, I know the stereotypes and what we can talk about and joke about, but seriously, what is a black voice? We also, when you think about those characters in that time period, you don't know what they sounded like.
No. None
of you do.
No.
Maybe they weren't even speaking English back then. They could have been speaking another language. So the fact of the matter is, this is entertainment. We are taking creative liberties. We are telling stories, but we're not taking ourselves too seriously, guys. It's a beautiful film that is a reflection of the times that we are living in, which is now.
At number 7, it is actually a fantastic made-for-HBO film entitled The Man Who Broke 1,000 Chains.
I'm a fugitive from a chain gang. 2 years ago, I had everything. Now I have nothing. I'm alone, a hunted man. I've been forced to move from town to town, state to state, unable to contact my family or the woman I love.
This is one memorable piece, which is based on a true account of Robert Elliott Burns, who was a World War I veteran who was framed for a robbery and sentenced for 6 to 10 years on a chain gang in Atlanta. So he does whatever he can to escape. If you haven't seen it, I shall not reveal, because the story itself it will just captivate and grip you to the bone. Knowing that Burns wrote and published his story in the book, I Am a Fugitive from a Chain Gang, which was famously made into a 1932 pre-code classic of the same name with Paul Muni, who earned an Oscar nomination for his performance. But this film obviously came years after. My goodness, he's so good at letting us track right along with him how he's feeling and how he's thinking, trusting the value of silence. He has so many great scenes, and he earns our empathy from beginning to end, where you fight for his freedom so hard every step of the way. It's one hell of a performance that gets overlooked, sometimes for it being a made-for-HBO film. But one of the better examples of made-for-TV excellence anchored by Val's power.
Hold on. I'll take Lillian to the seashore. Hold on.
Number 6. Number 6 is going to be Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
No! Okay, great.
I know. I said the same thing.
Look up idiot in the dictionary. You know what you'll find?
Picture me?
No! The definition of the word idiot, which you fucking are.
Shane Black, you made a beautiful contemporary crime noir LA love letter story that brought Robert Downey Jr. back, let Val Kilmer be the funniest human being on the planet and straight but gay. Who was a private eye that Val Kilmer played. He was pretty much this guy that would work in Hollywood and train and coach these actors on how to do or portray certain characters, but also took on cases and did his thing as well. Man, those two, Val Kilmer and Robert Downey Jr. just had, dude, I can't describe like the comedic timing between those two. It was unbelievable.
The amount of great lines that Shane Black is always able to deliver is just astounding.
Go. Sleep badly. Any questions, hesitate to call.
Bad.
Excuse me?
Sleep bad. Because otherwise it makes it seem like the mechanism that allows you to sleep.
What? Fuckhead? Badly's an adverb. Who taught you grammar? Get out. Vanish.
Brings me now to number 6, my number 6, Wonderland.
You son of a... That was my next one.
No
That's
kidding.
why I had to keep moving them.
That's
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and Wonderland, it's like...
Yes, released in 2003. This is at this tail end where Val was getting that reputation of being difficult, right? And, he had garnered that reputation thus from, throughout his whole career, basically, but really come to a head with Island of Dr. Moreau, Press. But with this coming out, playing real-life porn legend, 14-inch long schlong, John Holmes.
Yep.
And the true story of when John Holmes was a real suspect of some grisly murders of drug dealers in 1981, told in such Rashomon style with different points of view, specifically from David Lynn, one of the associates of the drug dealers, played by Dylan McDermott. He's actually really great in this movie. Very much a wild card, abnormal role for him. And to then Val's point of view, and then finally Sharon Holmes, played by Lisa Kudrow, who she does well, but technically is like an angry and bitter Phoebe. The story was in development for years, originally going to have Michael Biehn in the role of John Holmes, and then Matt Dillon as Holmes. Yeah, that would have been a very fascinating film, which still would have been great. But brilliant choice to have Val star as Holmes.
He sounds, I've listened to interviews with John Holmes. Val sounds exactly like John Holmes. Like their speaking cadences are spot on.
Spot on.
People are dead, Sharon. They were murdered up on Wonderland. They shouldn't have done that to him, though. They humiliated him to the Nash. They were so stupid.
I'm not following this.
He had my book, Sharon. He had my black book, and he had everyone's name in it. He said he was gonna kill you, so I told him I couldn't let that happen. So then they went up to Wonderland. They made me go there.
The Wonderland murders itself, and again, guys, because I live in California, when you watch these films that have to deal with the place that you live, you get curious yourself and you go down the rabbit hole and you start saying like, wait, how far is Wonderland Avenue from me? And Wonderland Avenue, I believe, is about 20 something minutes from my house. It's not that far away, but where the murders and all this stuff happened. And even somebody like Val, I understand also why to cast him in this too, is because he gave me the energy of somebody who was constantly having ups and downs. Like somebody that was on a narcotic of some sort. He captured them in such a beautiful way. And I just think the film was enthralling. It was fast. I don't remember it being that fast when I first watched it. I was like, wait, this thing moves.
I think it helps the fact that Val went so hard with that role. Shock. But the fact that he, slept in the house where the murders happened. To get into it, he slept in the house where it happened on the anniversary. I'm like, Val.
That is haunting on so many levels.
So many levels.
He would take whatever he could get to internalize it and get him closer to the performance that he knew needed to be captured on camera.
Very much so.
And just also a transformative performance.
Yeah, I'm a survivor, Sharon! I'm scum. I'm filth. I'm alive. And those people at Wonderland will never laugh at me again.